Welcome back to the channel. Hope everybody's doing well, and in today's video we are taking a look at side cutters that I've used throughout my career up until now. I do refer to these as side cutters. I know in some countries they are referred to as diagonals or dikes, but ever since my sprog ship I've known these as side cutters, so that's what I refer to them as. We start off in around about 1990 with this set here that are from Eclipse, a little 6-inch 160mm set of side cutters. I did have a set before this that were from Elliott Lucas that I had during my sprog ship, but they are long since gone. So this is the oldest set that I have now. Eclipse themselves, they are a well-renowned brand from England, Sheffield in England, established back in 1909 by Neil's Tools. And Neil's Tools became Spear and Jackson Company in 1995, which is also another well-renowned tool manufacturer from Sheffield in the UK. These are not too bad. You can see the handles here have twisted. They're quite soft, pliable handles on this, so you can work them back into position, but you can see around here that they've slipped round, but they do still cut. We've got this is 4mm. They'll jump through that easy enough, he says. Get them in the right place. Right in the jaw there, they don't seem to cut too well, but a bit further down the blade they're fine, but you see they are perhaps a little bit blunt. Now I can just about get through. This is 1.5mm twin and earth. I can just about get through these with that, so they do still work. They sit in my garage just as a gash pair if I've got some extra dirty work to do, and try and get the handles back on a bit better. So that's those ones there. Eclipse Tools do still sell a set of 6-inch side cutters. They are part number PW7736/11, so they are available either individually or as a set with I think some long nose and some combination pliers. So they are still going, obviously not in this format, but they are available. We then move on to this set from CK Tools, Carl Camelling Tools, purchased in 1993 when I started in the power industry. These are a 7-inch 180mm set. Carl Camelling will need no introduction to a lot of people in the UK. Again, very, very old company from Germany, but they do have a base in Wales, supplying into the UK. So I would have used these as an electrical fitter from 1993 to around about 2008. So they've seen a lot of action and are still going very well indeed. Chopping through that, no problems whatsoever. Slightly heavy duty 6mm cable in there, no problems. Bits flying everywhere. So yeah, these still growing gate guns, and I just use these set around as a general pair in the garage. Really, they don't do too much work now, but again, like the Eclipse, you can see the handles have twisted. That just used to be the way old tools, the handles weren't stuck as well onto the actual plier frame, so they do twist just through everyday use. But yeah, they're still going well. This set here, the closest that you would get from CK Tools is from their Red Line series, part number T3750180. Now £37 for a set of those. That's the closest that I can find. I don't believe these are VDE rated. I think they're just a standard set of pliers. And then move on to this set here that are from Kosh. Kosh is an owned tool brand from a do-it-yourself store, DIY store in the UK called Homebase. Homebase has taken a right dive over the last few years. There's not very many of their stores left. I think they still have a bit of an online presence, but the Kosh brand of tools was their own brand. It's no longer available anymore. This is a high leverage set, 190mm, 7.5 inches long, and they are spring loaded, and as you see they don't actually open up much in comparison to some of the other side cutters I've got, but they suffice my needs. They sit in my HV connections toolkit at this moment in time. Still quite powerful. Click clipping along, no problems. I don't use an awful lot in that toolkit. It's just nice to have a set of side cutters in virtually every tool bag I've got. Really, they are a staple of my toolkit. This is 2.5mm flat, which will chop through as well. So they're still going great guns, and done a fair bit of work. Handles seem to be a bit more robust on this one. They're not twisted at all. They do have a little hole for a lanyard there as well in this design. But that's those ones there. We then move on to this set from NWS. These again 190mm, 7.5 inch. These were a 2008 purchase, and they are obviously VDE rated, as you can see. NWS, German tool manufacturer, fairly young, founded in 1973, and you can still buy this specific set of cutters. They are part number 135149 VDE-190 for £31. And these sit in my general purpose tool bag, so these are still in use today. They do have like a kind of a crimper that I never use, a couple of stripping holes that do get used, and then you've got the side cutting edge there, and then we have a hole here that I believe is a bolt shear, but it's not threaded. 3.5mm bolt that we use on our sockets will just about go through there. 4mm won't fit, and you can shear off with that, but I don't do a lot of socketry work, so that doesn't get a lot of use. Problem with these ones is that because you are cutting on the edge here, whilst they will cut, he said, they take an awful lot of force, because when you're cutting down here, you've got better leverage, haven't you? But using this up here, it's not quite so good for cutting the larger cables. So they will do it, but they do take a fair bit of effort. But I guess this is close to my everyday use as you can get. You can see that the handles are just starting to twist, just a fraction. So they're going like the old school side cutters do, but they're still going good as well. We then move on to this set from Tolson. So Tolson are a Chinese tool manufacturer, and these sit in my VDE live working toolkit. Coming from the power industry, we would always have our standard tools for normal use, and then we'd have a specific set purely just for live working that were only ever used on live working. So I've just retained that feature, even though I work for myself now, and I have this set here. They're not too bad actually, quite good in terms of chopping through cable. They are quite new. These would have been purchased in 2014 from TLC Direct. Now, I did purchase them as part of a kit, a 15-piece kit, which is £103, but these pliers themselves can be purchased on their own for £16. And where's my bit of 2.5mm? Chops through easy enough, so they're good, but they don't do an awful lot of work, as you can see from the condition of them. We then move to this little set from Beta Tools. Now I do kind of use these in a little handy tool bag first response kind of tool bag I've got set up, but I purchased them because I was just a bit curious about Beta Tools, really wanted to see what they were like. They are quite a small set, 160mm, 6-inch long. Part number is 1082MQ. They are £39, brand new. I purchased these in 2023, so not seen an awful lot of use yet, but they will chop quite nicely. Beta Tools are Italian manufacturer, I believe, because they are quite small ones. A bit of 2.5mm is a bit of effort for you, but it will go through. That's kind of their limit, really. A bit 1.5 is probably going to be a bit easier, I would hope. Yeah. So they're good, they're okay. So I was just curious to the actual manufacturer and see what the rest of the tools like. I bought them with a few other Beta Tools as well. And then staying with 2023, we move to this set from Knipex. Again, these are bought for heavy duty use, really. These will cut through anything. They will cut through nails, piano wire. A lot of these others are purely for copper So these are beasts, but they are non-VDE. They are the 10-inch 250mm high leverage cutters from Knipex, and part number is 7402250. They cost £45, so fairly hefty price, but we can go straight for the 2.5mm, and we can chop through that with no effort whatsoever. There's our hard drawn 6mm, no problem. Beautiful to use, really nice to use. Fairly new, don't get an awful lot of use. They sit in my garage for the occasional use when I need a harder set, or if you're doing a lot of cable cutting, they can obviously use a set like that instead of some of these smaller ones, just to make life a little bit easier. We then move on to 2024, when I purchased this set from Vihar. These are the Z12101160. They are purchased as part of a 3-piece set. I presume you can get them on their own, but I've not found them, so I have them as the a 3-piece set. They sit in my HV breaker maintenance loadout. A lot of that work on these HV breaker trucks, and even the LV trucks as well, the trucks rack out from the cabinet and are removed, so everything's all dead, so you don't need VDE for that kind of work. So it's more mechanical work really, so I just have a set of these in there to utilise when required, and these chop through. A bit more effort than the Knipex, but they do cut really well. Cut this one diligently, no problem whatsoever. It's my hard drawn copper cable. A bit more of an effort, but yeah, very nice to use. I hadn't used VR pliers up until then. I'm pretty impressed with them, really. They are quite nice. I've just got the dipped finish rather than a comfort grip or the VDE grip there. So that's those ones. And finally we have this set from Fujiya. I purchased in 2025. These are my latest set that I've purchased, more just to see what Fujiya tools were like, really. They are 190mm 7-inch cutters, part number 770-175BG. They sit in a handyman's bag for work around the house really at the moment. I don't tend to use these professionally, but yeah, very nice to use, very sharp, a bit more of a flush cut than you see on a lot of these other diagonals, even the Vihar ones. They've got a bit more of a diagonal to the blades there, like these that are fairly flush cutting. But yeah, just to see what they're like, been quite happy with them. Nice to use, got a little lanyard shackle in there for you to use. You even have the separate hole, so if this plastic handle breaks, and you can move the shackle over to that side and continue to use it. Yeah, nice set of pliers. These are spring loaded as well, but if you don't like spring loaded, if you open this up, the spring comes flying out, and then you've just got a normal set of cutters. So easy enough to remove the spring should you want to. And that pretty much completes my collection of side cutters. Thanks very much for watching. Hope you found it useful, and I will see you again in the next one.